I'm really proud of our team for finding a way to win when we weren't at our best. And we weren't at our best because of North Alabama. I thought that they played really, really hard, and they pressured us. And we had to work harder offensively to get into stuff. And that's the first time, we faced pressure like that. And I thought that threw us off. We weren't as connected. And I thought it threw us off with finishing. Even though we were able to get to the basket, I thought we left a lot of points on the board, especially in that first half. But I'm proud of our guys for finding a way to win. We faced a different type of adversity than we faced all season. And it's because we played against a team that was incredibly well coached. And those kids really, really played hard. And they put us in a position where we had to dig deep and be able to make some plays down the stretch in order to secure a victory. We stepped up and made free throws. We got to stop at the end when we needed it. Great awareness by Wilson Frame to get out and to fly at the shooter right there. And then to knock in a free throw at the end, to make it a two-possession game was big time for us. Xavier was really good. We put the ball in his hands, and he was able to make plays. I thought we attacked the zone well. Again, really proud of our guys to be able to fight through adversity and to win.
Jeff, with being your all's third game in 5 days, your second game in a 48-hour period there, how much of some of those missed shots at the rim do you think were maybe a product of fatigue or maybe?
I think some of it could be that, but I do think a big part of it was them. I mean, North Alabama. I mean, they fought. I knew they were a good team, and watching them, they were right there with St. Louis at St. Louis. I knew they'd be ready to play. I knew they'd be ready to compete. I've known Tony for a while. He's a really good coach, really good guy. And in watching them on tape, those guys have played hard. And, especially, they've played in a game like at St. Louis. So they've played in an environment that was really good and against a team that's physical and things like that. And they were right there with them. So I knew they'd be confident coming into that. I also knew that this was the end of an energy cycle for us. You mentioned our third game in 5 days, less than 48 hours from when we played the other night, a different time, from what we've been used to playing. And so when you add those elements against a team that's hungry and that's confident, we were in the position I think we were because of all of those things. And that's why I'm proud of our guys for figuring out a way to win.
You mentioned Xavier. This was the first time you had a game situation where it's all a 1 or 2 possession game, clock's coming down. How did you feel like he responded to the pressure of that situation, especially handling the ball?
I felt like he responded very well, especially on the offensive end. He made the right reads and ball screens. When they went zone, he made the right reads, and he was able to get fouled. He was able to step up and make plays. Defensively, he's got to do a better job. That kid had hit 4 threes. We can't leave him right there. That was a big-time shot by number 11 for them. He played really, really well, Smith, throughout the game. But again, X was really, really good for us. Aldis made some plays. We stepped up and made some free throws. We were finally able to chase down a rebound. Again, we did some really good things.
Early in the second half, I think Kenny had looked like an easy layup, and he passed to can't remember who it was.
Tony.
Is that the kind of thing you're looking for? A lot of
well, that's the way we've been, and for whatever reason, we didn't do that, especially in the first half. For whatever reason, we did not do that, and that's what I mean when we weren't as connected as we have been. If you look at the last 2 games, if I'm not mistaken, a good percentage of our made field goals have been assisted. That wasn't the case, especially in the first half. And so I told we were out of character in the first half of who we've been. Again, I think a big part of that was North Alabama. But I thought in the second half we got into a little bit better rhythm. Sometimes when you have a team, especially a team that has a lot of inexperience like we do, anything can throw them off. So in the first half, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think we missed 14 layups. Like right there at the basket, we missed a lot of shots. And so that could, make you put pressure on yourself. Well, I have to do it. Or someone thinks, well, I have to do it. And the thing we've talked about is that it can never be I. It has to be our. It has to be us. Plural pronouns. That's the way our program has to be. And I thought we got back to that a little bit more in the second half. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think we had 7 assists in the second half. I think we had 3 at halftime, and I think we had 7 in the second half, which is good.
You know, as difficult as this game was, Jeff, you know, as tightly contested, hard fought as it was, how much, you know, and you had talked about it a couple of days ago, how much do you think a game like this could potentially help you guys, in a couple months here when you're right in the middle of ACC play, and you maybe have to do something similar to what you did today?
I think it helps us right away. I mean, not just for ACC play, but probably next Wednesday. You know, the game after that, whenever that, I'm not even sure when it is. But I think it helps us right away. And this is a great learning experience for us because it's a situation that we have not been in and that you can't simulate in practice. You can try to, but you can't simulate because in practice you don't have people here. You don't have officials here every day. You don't have the type of game pressure that we actually experienced, you know, live in real time today. And so it's a lot of things that we can learn from this, and, you know, we look forward to doing that.
You know, kind of looking forward here, Jeff, with the St. Louis game on Wednesday. I think that was on the books before you got here, but
No.
Oh, okay, after. How much are you guys you know, will it be an emphasis, or will it be something that you'll try to do in coming years here, given this program's ties to New York, where you guys will maybe try to play a game up there?
Yeah, I'd love to do it. I'd love to play a game every year up there. I'd love to play a game against an old Big East team every year. That's something that I would love to do, and something that we'll look to do up in New York every year.
Israel's third game in 5 days. I guess your second probably within like 40 hours. How much fatigue, if any, did you guys feel out there today?
I mean, as a team, we did look fatigued, honestly. My personal self, I really wasn't fatigued because I didn't play that much minutes in the last game due to the technical foul and stuff like that.
What do you feel like was the reason you weren't able to finish at the same level you had through the first 4 games?
I just think that today we kind of came out a little slow. It might have been an early start. You know, we got a lot of new guys playing this year, so they're not really used to the 12 p.m. game. So it was good for us, you know, come out here and get the win and just get used to the 12 p.m. because, you know, we got another one next week versus St. Louis. So it was good that we got it out the way now. And even though we had a slow start, we were able to pick it back up in the second half and get the W.
Good that you guys played a close game today because you haven't played any until today.
I wouldn't say it's good, but at least, you know, it showed that we were all tough and that we were able to just get through adversity because we got down in the first half. Obviously, at halftime, we were down. So for us to come out in the second half and just pull it all together and just go out there and play hard and, you know, play the right way, we got the victory, so that was all that mattered.
What was Coach Cable's halftime speech like?
You want to say?
So all I got to say,
Wasn't good.
Guys, down at the half for the first time under your new coach, Coach Cable, what did he tell you guys at the half?
He basically just said, like, we weren't ourselves. You know, we had a lot of selfish plays out there. We weren't playing together on offense and defense. So he just said, get back to, you know, what we do best. And that's just playing together on both ends. And, you know, we did that in the second half.
Well, how good was it to see the young guys? I mean, you say you don't want to be in a close situation, but, I mean, to have Xavier go and be able to be really productive in those last minutes of the game where it's tight and you know you need some baskets.
I mean, you know, X is obviously a great player. You know, the ball's going to be in his hands. He makes great decisions with it. And as you saw tonight, he had a lot of poise. You know, when we were down, the ball was in his hands. Even when we were up by, you know, 1 or 2 coming down the stretch, it was in his hands, and he made a lot of great plays. So, you know, we're just going to need him to continue to do that, continue to build his confidence. And, you know, I'm proud of him.
Those 2 dunks early in the second half, they came from Ardis and Kenny, I believe. Is that kind of this team's identity? You know, a lot of it's... You had it?
Nah, he had it.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, the 2 dunks came off pretty good assists. Is that early in the second half?
Yeah, I mean,
team's identity?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously we're athletic. We want to get out and transition and go. We got a lot of athletic guards, you know, that can run and jump. So that's our main thing is just getting stops on defense and getting out in transition. And then, you know, like I said before at halftime, coaches said play together, and you know that results in, you know, easy points like that.
even with the noon start, even with it being your all's third game in 5 days here, what if anything were they doing that gave you guys problems?
I mean, my coach said when he came back in the locker room, he said that was probably one of the best game they played from what he seen. They gave us their best shot, and we just still ended up on top.
I guess as difficult or frustrating as things maybe were today, even though it's closer than I guess what people would think. How much do you feel like a game like today, with it being a noon start, with y'all having so many games close together, how much do you feel like a day like today could help you all down the line, especially when you get into ACC play?
I mean, as you see, we're young, so that was just good for the freshmen and like some of the new guys. I'm not used to playing at 12, and I don't think none of the other guys are. The other freshmen are either. But I know that we have 12 o'clock games coming up in the ACC and on coming up next game.
I guess with it being college basketball, how different of an experience is it? Because I feel like some people would maybe look back to like AAU ball and say, hey, you played 3 games in a 2-day span. How different is it right now? When it's a 40-minute game, it's regulation, and counts towards your all's record. I mean, how much different, if at all, is it?
I don't think it's different at all.